Hey all, Brandon here, and it's time for new SexxxPerTease. Today's question is, so I've been seeing this really hot guy, but the topic of politics came up, and he mentioned he's going to vote for Trump this year. I'm a hardcore liberal, and I don't think I could really be with someone who votes for Trump, but this guy is really hot, so should I give him a chance, or should I end things now? Also, I'm black, and he's white, and he has no comprehension of Black Lives Matter or any of the race issues going on in America, so I also find that to be a huge turnoff as well. Well, personally speaking, I couldn't really date someone that was conservative, especially not a Trump supporting conservative. It's just because, well, I'm black and gay and feminine and a feminist. So, like, people that are Trump supporters or even conservatives in general are not my friend and do not care about my well being in this country or any of my friends' well being, since even all of my friends are either not white, gay, or women. So conservatives hate everyone that's not a rich, white, straight man. So I just couldn't be with someone that was conservative. And I know there's like fiscal Republicans, and that I could possibly understand because I feel like I'd probably be a fiscal Republican if I even had any money, but I don't. So I have no patience, tolerance, or accepting politics towards conservatives. It's just because they don't focus on just the money. It's always about wanting to strip everyone that's not a rich, straight white man of their rights and freedoms in this country. So even the election, they always talk about what conservatives want to do to try to make life harder for women by taking away reproductive rights, outlawing abortion, even like no interest or equal pay or anything that would make women's life better. They want to take away gays' rights. They probably want to repeal gay marriage and make sure gays can't have the protections and freedoms that we need, like hate crime laws or equal payment laws and employment laws. And they want to enforce bills that can discriminate against gays. Like Trump's VP was the governor of Indiana who signed that bill into law where companies can openly discriminate against gay people if they just don't want their business or service, which is ridiculous. And if he was the governor of his state and would implement that, wouldn't he want to do that for the entire country? It's just dangerous times we're living in. I couldn't deal with a Trump supporter because also if they're gay and I was dating them and they supported Trump, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Even though, personally speaking, Donald Trump has always been on TV probably my entire life, so I've always been aware of him, but it's just, he never seemed like that terrible of a person until the whole Obama birther thing came out, and then he was the absolute worst, and he wouldn't let it go Obama's entire time in office, and now he's our possible next president right after Obama. This is just absolutely ridiculous. But clearly the country is in a horrible state if people actually think Donald Trump would be a great president, especially after we've had Obama. Like, Obama, we got gay marriage, Osama bin Laden's dead, gas prices were lower than ever. Like, life definitely was so much better with Obama instead of Bush. Now people want to do Trump, and I think Trump's going to be way worse than Bush or any Republican president we've had in probably the past, like, 60 years. I couldn't do it. I would definitely tell you, like, I don't care how hot a guy is, especially since they definitely lose their sex appeal if they say they want to vote for Donald Trump. Like, I get it, America's in a horrible state right now, but Donald Trump is not the right answer. And being a conservative, I know you may not want to give away all your money in taxes to help the poor and less fortunate people. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to do that either, but being a conservative means, especially if you're gay, or even if you're dating someone outside your race, like, what if they want to take things so far back, they outlaw interracial marriage? Like, that's only been around for, like, 50, 60 years. Like, people, like, I just really couldn't deal with a guy that was a Trump supporter. And I feel like I've maybe heard of couples that had different political beliefs that were together, but I also feel like it's probably like a situation where one person's really vocal and anti-liberal or whatever, and then the other person just votes secretly however they want, and they just put up with hearing all the bullshit that their spouse says, even though they don't believe in any of it. But politics are a huge heated issue. Like, I couldn't date someone in a relationship and constantly have to fight about the same things. Like, if a guy is anti-abortion and doesn't think women should have the right to terminate an unwanted pregnancy, like, I can't with you. Even though I can't get pregnant, but still, what if I wanted to have kids one day and there was a reason I wanted to abort it, like the baby was like deformed or retarded or whatever. Especially with Zika around, like, abortion is necessary. People, I just can't. But yeah, I couldn't have the constant arguments or fights, especially if I wanted to have kids one day. What if I wanted to abort the kid and found something wrong with it? And then he was like, no, abortion's wrong. Like, I don't want the deformed baby, so I feel like abortion is absolutely necessary. Like, and all of my friends, like, I have friends and family members that have had abortions too. Like, we are not in a population deficit. We do not have to worry about there's too little people in this country. So, no, we don't have to force births upon women if it was an accident or they just aren't ready to be a mother. They can't afford to take care of it. And the same people that are anti-abortion are usually anti-welfare. And we have so many kids in orphanages or abandoned in foster care or whatever. And people don't even want to help them find families and homes. And people want to force women to have babies they can't take care of or don't want, and then that just adds more unwanted and untaken care of children in foster care or orphanages. So, no, if a guy's anti-abortion, I can't deal with him. If he's if he's gay, like, I don't know how it's gonna work if he doesn't support gay rights, even though he is gay. I mean, I'm sure they exist. There are conservative Republicans out there, but okay, we can't get married, you can't be my next of kin or like emergency contact if I'm in the hospital, you can't make decisions for me, like, why would you support conservatives? And then if we are a couple and then you support conservatives that make companies allowed to discriminate against gays, so what, we can't get a hotel room if we want to go on vacation because nobody wants to rent to a gay couple, then we can't like rent a car, we can't eat at a restaurant because people don't want to serve gays. Like, you really just want to be not welcome into any establishment we walk into. Like, who wants to deal with that? Then also people of color, like, Black Lives Matter and everything. Like, cops can go shoot innocent black people and then no, it's not considered a crime or there's nothing wrong with it. Like, what is wrong with you if you don't think that there's is a problem that if people that are innocent and not doing anything wrong are just brutally murdered and then there's no charges filed? Like, that definitely just means, like, people can be shot and killed at any moment and no consequences. Like, is that the world you want to live in? Like, no matter on race or the individual or whatever, it's just not something I can deal with. And I try to be as open-minded as possible, but I definitely have to draw the line. Like, even on OkCupid, if I'd look at a guy's profile and he said he was conservative, I'd just be like, no, I can't. If they're anti-abortion, I can't. I just can't with people. It's just, politics are something fundamental. Like, if you're liberal or conservative, you don't want to have a constant argument in your relationship about human decency and quality of life and everything you're going to fight over all the time. Like, politics aren't just something you can brush off, like, oh, this guy doesn't like the same type of food as me. Like, that's fine, or he doesn't like the same type of movies or music. Like, politics are definitely way different and way more unforgivable if someone just doesn't view the world or humans the same way you do in terms of quality of life, inequality, and whatnot. So, my advice is no, I don't think people with opposing political beliefs can make it work, especially during these charged political times. I hope that helped answer your question, and please submit more questions to me for future videos, and please keep watching SexxxPerTease.